So if you guys have been living under a rock this past couple of weeks, then you probably didn't know that I was fortunate enough to take part in the very first season of Take Me Out Australia. The main gist of it is single guys come down an elevator one by one and get judged in front of 30 girls simultaneously, and at the same time try to lock in a date at the end. It's basically like the Asian dating show She's the One, but with a different title and a Western flavour to it. And this is how I decided to shake my tail feathers.
Well. Hello, handsome stranger.
Hey.
Time to set hearts aflutter. Introduce yourself.
Good evening, ladies. You're all looking beautiful tonight. My name is George, and I'm from Sydney!
Yeah.
There are definitely dance moves you'll live to regret, but I will do a separate vlog about that, about my whole experience and what it was like. But what I wanted to vlog about today is something a bit more serious, something more sinister, something that triggers all of us in one way or another and always rears its ugly head. Racism. But before I say too much, I'll let you watch the clip for yourself so you can come up with your own unbiased thoughts.
You know what to do, ladies. Are you turned on or are you turned off? George, awesome results. 6 lights off, 24 lights left on. How are you feeling?
Not bad.
Yeah?
You never know with these things, eh?
You never know with these ladies, I know, let me tell you. I'll go get some answers for you coming down to... All right, Gianna, what's this light about?
Kind of have a no dating Asians sort of policy. You kind of look a bit like my brother.
Oh, racist. Gianna, did not expect that from you. We have a diversity charter here. Cherie, explain this red light.
I'm sorry, I have a no dating Asian policy as well.
I don't want to be mistaken as your brother and sister. It'd get awkward.
Oh my gosh. What is it? Is this a thing?
Because I'm Asian, I'm allowed to say.
Is this a thing? Does this happen though? Is this a regular occurrence?
For me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, Cherie.
Now first I just want to say that these comments never offended me. I've been dead inside for years, so say what you want about me, I will not get offended. I really don't give a fuck. So a whole week's passed since this aired on TV, and yesterday I came across an article from Next Shark, which is, a popular Asian American news site, and they published an article based on this part of my segment. Now where this article got traction is when popular Facebook pages Asians Never Die and Your Everyday Asian shared these articles, and together they have a collective 1.2 million Asians following these pages. Now that's a lot of fucking Asians to piss off. Now this article has sparked up debate around internalized racism and veiled prejudice. Quite strong words in my opinion, and it's really divided the Asian community. And by divided, I mean a vast majority, like 90%, call it racism. But before we start throwing these words around, let's just calm the fuck down for a second and think about this for a moment. Were these comments racist? Yes, they absolutely fucking were. And if you think otherwise, you could think of a different example. Would you ever hear anyone say, I don't date black guys. I don't date redheads. You would never fucking hear anyone say that. No way in the fucking world. They would get absolutely crucified. But yet, it seems okay in today's society to say that about Asians. Oh, leave them alone. They were just saying their preference. Preference isn't racism. Yes, they were saying their preference. Saying your preference is like, I like guys who stay fit, or I like girls who read books, or I like people who love animals. But not when people decide to rule out an entire race based on what? Nothing. Preference and racism is totally different things, so end of story with that.
And then down here, Jasmine, your light's still on.
Yes, I love Asian boys. One of my first boyfriends was Asian. My first boss, I had a massive crush on him and he was also Asian.
Yeah, hear that, Cherie, Gianna? Yeah, good work, Jasmine, I like it.
Okay, well, she definitely likes Asians, and she was actually a pretty cool chick and pretty funny, but I wouldn't even call that racism. She's saying her preference. She's not excluding a certain group based on nothing. She just has a certain preference. So that's fine to say.
No, Letitia, George.
Can I just ask where you're from?
My background's Filipino.
Oh my god, same!
Oh, yeah. Well, thank you. Thank you for not discriminating.
Yeah.
Damn girl, Letitia knows what's up. That girl's right up my alley, but unfortunately she breaks my heart. Just fucking breaks it into pieces. Now I just want to say that both these girls, Gianna and Cherie, have messaged me personally apologizing for their comments during the show. They're copying hate messages right now, shaming them for their weight, for their looks, whatever, you name it, and it's totally uncalled for. And if you have taken part in this, then you are a piece of shit. And you are doing a lot worse than what you are accusing them for. And you just need to fucking stop. Yes, let's have a conversation about what was said and the wider issues surrounding that. But let's not start attacking individuals personally and intentionally when obviously in that context of a game show, there was obviously no bad intention in what they said. You always have to take context into consideration with these things. And being on a fun dating game show where it's all about banter and just having a good laugh, it's probably safe to say that those things were never meant to be spiteful or hateful towards myself or Asian men. But where I think this struck people the wrong way is the whole attitude or stigma around dating Asian men, or more specifically, Asian women's attitude towards dating Asian men. And reading a lot of these comments from these Facebook pages, it seems like a very common thing that happens to a lot of Asian men. Most of these comments come from the States, and I'm sure it's also evident here in Australia, and it seems all too common that these things happen to Asian men, copping it mostly from Asian women. And yes, of course, these types of Asian bitches do exist. They think they're too good for Asian guys, they think they're one type of class above us, and they just discriminate Asian men solely based on their race. Now you'll probably find that these Asian women are a certain type that no decent Asian man would date or take seriously anyway. And not because that they're Asian, but because of their... And not because that they're Asian, but because of their unfavorable and unattractive attitude, morals, or values. So hence those types of women would naturally stray away from Asian men and look for whatever other option would take them. Now I'm no way saying that the girls on the show were that. They definitely weren't, like I've said before, but I'm just acknowledging the fact that there are women out there, hence why there is this problem. Now there was another line that Cherie made which I wanted to point out, and it was this.
I'm Asian, I'm allowed to... Is this I'm Asian, I'm allowed to... Is this I'm Asian, I'm allowed to... Is this...
Now I've heard this saying many times, and I've also been guilty of saying it myself, but I think what it underpins is subtle racism, and that it's more okay to be racist if it's about your own race. This is underpinned by a wider Western society view that Asian men are more subordinate than Caucasian men. And to put it in simple terms, white men are more masculine and more attractive than other men, and more particularly compared to Asian men. Now we all know Western culture is rife with unconscious bias and systemic racism. And the worst part of it is that we don't even know that we're doing it. It's so deeply embedded in our culture that we don't even know that we're basing everyday decisions on it. Take this for example. Would you automatically feel more unsafe if a black guy was walking towards you at nighttime? Or would you feel more uneasy on a plane if it was filled with people with an Arabic background? All these things affect us subconsciously because of all the Western influence around us every single day. What we see in the movies, what we read in the news articles, what's portrayed in everything that we see every single day. So how do we fight something that we don't even know that we do ourselves? Now, how many of you have heard the phrase, "Oh, he's attractive for an Asian"? Like, what the fuck does that even mean? Why can't he just be attractive? By saying that, you are automatically discriminating against an entire race based on your presupposition that Asian men are unattractive. But we accept that and we cop that because we're Asian and we're nice guys. And that's why I think, especially in today's society where everyone's triggered about everything, everyone gets offended about the smallest things and everyone's trying to shut each other up and not say certain things, that it is very important that we have these conversations, that we listen to each other's viewpoints, let people say what they want to say. and let's have an open and honest discussion about contentious topics. Because to me, that is the only way we could move forward and grow as a society. I'm all about free speech. I'm open to listening to, racial remarks, hateful speech, contentious subjects, whatever it is. To me, it's more like, let them say what they want to say, let them be heard, and let the community decide and judge what action to take. Alright, so if you've made it to the end of this video, then damn, you've got a lot of time on your hands. No, but honestly, I do appreciate you guys taking the time out to watch this and, listening to what I have to say. I do find contentious subjects like this very interesting, and I do follow a lot of political things around the world and how things are progressing, especially in Canada and in the United States, and how, they're translating and moving towards in Australia. But I've kind of tried to avoid that kind of content on my channel because, as you could see, things like this can go downhill very fast, and that's not what Life of George is about. But in this case, I thought it was necessary and timely to do a video on this, obviously because I was in that segment and I was in the article and everything like that, and I think it hits home a lot with, the wider Asian community. But as always, I'm keen to hear your thoughts. Comment below, do you agree, do you disagree, did I completely lose the plot on some of the subjects? Were there some things that I missed? What's your opinion on it? Have you had similar experiences? Were your experiences different? And if you're keen to see what the whole Take Me Out experience was about, I am planning to do a vlog about it after my next episode. So I'll just do a vlog on the whole thing and my reaction to it. Now, I don't want to give away too much, no spoiler alerts, but the episode airs in about 2 weeks. But I'll just tell you one thing, it was the best date ever. But anyway, thanks for tuning in, guys, and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace out.